right. Well, thank you so much for coming, Suzanne. And I've loved getting to know you. And so what I would love to do first is have you introduce yourself and share a little bit about who you are. And then we'll talk a little bit more about that.
I would love to. I am Suzanne Joffrion, and I have been, I might even be a little past midlife. I don't know. But have been in direct sales for a long time. And so that's one of the things that has contributed to me, I think, feeling more confident in as I have matured. But I am a wife of nearly 42 years. I have 7 grandchildren and three children and 2 daughters-in-law. So those are important parts of my life. And like I said, I've been in direct sales. I've done lots of different things. You know me from having sold hair products. And unfortunately, that company closed the door in December. And so now I am a skin and makeup person. Hopefully, the hair care will come back. So that's really become my passion. So that's what I do. I really feel like that is an important part of a woman's confidence. Feeling good about how she looks, how her hair looks, how her makeup looks, how her skin looks. And so I feel, like that is what I love doing right now.
I love it. Well, and you helped me so much in simply understanding. I never thought about my hair to the way that you used to describe, like, I don't know, these things about a healthy scalp and all of these things that, wow.
Right. Yeah. So those things are important to me. I love to be an educator about healthy hair, healthy skin, because you can put all the makeup on you want, but if your skin isn't healthy, it's not going to cover up a lot. So anyway, so I'm learning more and more about that.
That's so great. Well, and what I want to focus on, because I love how you had talked about this too, just about the fact that, because it feels to me like there's a underlying passion there around helping midlife women specifically see themselves as a valuable resource and as having a powerful voice. And so I would love to hear a little bit more of your thoughts on that. And if you'd be willing to share that perspective.
Yeah, I was thinking about that before we spoke, and this afternoon and a little before that. But, I was thinking about, why does a woman in midlife either not feel confident, or does she maybe even lose confidence? Sometimes it is a physical appearance, loss of hair, our hair, so many things change, right? Our hair changes, our skin change. I mean, everything with hormones and all that affects you. So I think that is an important part of how a woman feels confident in those things. But I also think that and I think you'll probably agree with me that sometimes someone in midlife may feel like they're irrelevant. They have become, kind of out of culture, or out of the thinking of modern day, which is not bad. Because I think we need to see ourselves as having valuable experience that can contribute to the culture that is kind of struggling right now. I think we have sometimes the voice of reason that people need.
Yes, exactly. Well, and it's funny too. I want to take a step back for a minute too. And you don't know this about me, Suzanne, but I didn't even think about what midlife was. I kind of go, mid what? So it was a few years ago during the pandemic when I was on the social media app Clubhouse a lot, where they would have all these rooms around midlife. And I'm thinking, it never occurred to me that I was in midlife. Like, who's to say what midlife is? And so I think it really, I get that, like my social media manager reminded me that SEO is really good for midlife. And it's so true. Like that's what people are searching for. And of course there is commonalities in that. And I do think that it's striking to me how many people I know who have shared that they have lost confidence after 40. Because I talk about the people that I typically work with are women in their 40s and beyond. And that always strikes me as so odd. And why do you think that is?
Well, if you remember back to when you're an adolescent, things are changing. You're thinking, who am I? What is my body doing? And, here we are again.
Yes.
Who am I? Who are these people that, are calling me grandma? And
Who are these people? I love that.
but they're precious. But so much changes that I think that, and in adolescence, we've never been here before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we just
Mm-hmm.
have to adjust in some ways that, but so much value in the experiences that we've had, and the changes that we experience, either empty nest or change of roles, or maybe you have to be a caregiver, or maybe you have to change you retire, or so many things can happen and change, that I
Mm-hmm.
think that seeing those as valuable can really make a difference as to how confident we feel about ourselves. And we what was I going to say? We feel like sometimes that we're frowned upon because, of course, the media, social media, really highlights the youthfulness and always changing, and how sound bites go like this, and we're going, what just happened, but so many things go by so fast that we just kind of have to enjoy where we are, and be confident in the journey we've been on, and what's ahead of us. So I think that embracing where we are instead of trying to fight it, or trying to look down upon it, really makes a difference in our attitude.
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing. I mean, to me, the bulk of this all is own it. Regardless
Right.
of what age you are, no matter who is listening, what gender you are, we have to own who we are and recognize that each of us is a valuable gift to the world and has a powerful story to tell.
Right.
So, what do you?
There's a wide range of, I think there's a wide range of desire and a wide range of acceptability in aging. Some people don't want to go gray. Some people are like frowning on those who won't go gray. I mean,
Right.
there's just a wide range of mind schools of thought. But I'm just like, you get to a point where you're comfortable with who you are. You're much more comfortable now. I wouldn't want to go back to being 20 again, or whatever. So and they say that as you age you lose your filter. So some people, my father-in-law will say just whatever he thinks. He doesn't. But so I think that you just become a little more comfortable with who you are, and that's also part of accepting where you are. I did a post recently about, is it anti-aging? Is it reverse aging? Is it pro-aging? Is it aging gracefully? I mean, so there's so many mindsets that, you
Yes.
have to come to grips with what you're comfortable with.
Yeah, that is very true. I was thinking when you said that about my mom when she was in her early 90s. I remember somebody at her assisted living said to her, "Oh, it's shrimp on the menu." And my mom said, "Oh, that's like worms. I hate shrimp." I was thinking, yeah, it's pretty good to have a filter.
Yes.
I think it's powerful to be honest, and at the same time, it's important to have that filter.
I agree.
Well, what do you think has been, like, if you think about anybody listening right now and encouraging someone that is in this, what anybody is self-defined, right? Of what
Right.
you would consider yourself to be in right now. If you're in midlife, what do you think would be the biggest piece of advice that you would offer for someone related to their voice or speaking up?
Well, I think that, if maybe there are fears holding you back, I say journal about them, get them out, talk to someone. I think that we're at the age where we can really look forward to and enjoy many more years. And why carry baggage that weighs us down? So I
Yeah.
think that, getting help or talking to someone, getting help with, your makeup or your hair or your fashion or whatever, don't just allow yourself to just, fade away. And, I'm for go do what makes you feel good and what makes you feel better about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
I'm, proponent of that. And I also think that gratitude is a big factor in your attitude for living. So, maybe start a gratitude journal or however it is that you keep track of those things. I was laughing because I read something, because I've been working on kind of a little report or something for my readers, and I was thinking about the things that women can do to feel better about themselves and accept themselves. And I thought, use the good dishes, go buy new underwear, buy makeup, make your hair look nice, do the things that you've always thought that's not, there's a reason not to. Well, there's no reason not to. Use the good things, and, make yourself feel pretty, and those kind of things. So as long as you can do those things, I say do what you can to, feel good about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's funny because you know how most people in their homes have matching dishware? I mean, it's pretty common. I rarely see, like, if you saw my cabinet, I have no dish matches, no glass matches. I shouldn't say. I have 4 plates that match and maybe 8 others that I only use at holidays. But that to me reminds me of this just owning, like, I've always been a little eclectic with style and things. And so I love the fact that I can have all of these different glasses, and it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Or different plates and cups. And for on the same vein about using the good china now, or using whatever you feel like would be fun to use. And so, I like what Donna said. Wear your diamonds every day. Use the good
every
china
day, girl. That's right. Well, and I'm from Louisiana, so we call that lagniappe. You just use a little bit of everything,
Oh, that's fun. I love that term. That's great. Oh my gosh.
It's your lagniappe years. So use it all and do the good things.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What do you think, related to speaking up, what do you think is the best thing that women can do to practice that muscle or use their voice?
I think that it's best done, to me, it's more valuable when you can pour into somebody else's life rather than just sit behind your computer and give your thoughts online or whatever. Nothing's wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think, and to me, this reminds me of some stories in the Bible, but, older women have so many things to teach to younger women, and they're very valuable. And I think that, not diminishing those, whether it's biblical things or not, it's how to make biscuits, or it's, how to do this or how to do that, things that were passed on to you, I think are super, really good ways to use your voice and say these things are important. Again, how you live and how you carry yourself, I think that also is a way to say, I think these things are important. So, I think that there are ways like volunteering, or, that when we put ourselves out there, it is a little risky, but it's also so valuable, and you'll be the one that gets the blessing, right? I mean, you'll feel so much better.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I think the power of showing up, that's what makes me think of it for you what you said, that even just Sunday I was at church, and I remember even not wanting to go that day and thinking, I think I'm just going to sleep in, but then I ended up going, and because I was there, just because I was physically there, somebody came up to me. I used to sing on in the worship band, and he said, let's talk about that. He goes, I have something in mind for you. Are you still interested in singing? I know you travel all the time. But it reminded me of the power of showing up, being present and being visible. And I do think that so many times, regardless again of your age, your gender, that it's easy to hide.
Right.
And it's, especially with COVID, it's just, I feel like we've all gotten more comfortable being at home, not necessarily being out and socializing as much as we'd like. And yet it's amazing what can happen when you pick up the phone, when you show up at an event, or yeah, you're just out in the world. You never know who you're going to meet.
Really true. Speaking of singing, you know, I have always loved to sing, but have always been self-conscious about singing until within the last 2 years, right after, might have been right before COVID or right about after, or sometime in that time, something happened at our church and they needed vocalists. They needed people to help lead worship. And I said, okay, you know, I'll try. And I was at first afraid to be too close to the microphone. And now, you know, over time, over 2 years, I've just learned that it's great. You know, I can do this. And so,
awesome.
You know, sometimes just practicing and putting yourself out there and showing up, like you said, does build that muscle, you know, so it's good.
Yeah, that's great. Well, what else would you like to share here before we wrap up about midlife, about anything you would offer to encourage others?
Well, you know, I would say recently you know, in kind of the transition of moving from hair to skin and makeup and that kind of thing, I thought what I really want to do is, and I changed my bio even on my Instagram, I want to be an inspirer and a champion for the midlife woman. You know, I want to not only serve through helping her feel and look her best, but, you know, if I can be motivating to someone, if I can inspire someone or champion someone on that, you know, maybe is stuck or whatever, that's kind of what I want to do. And I think that we need to look for the champions in our lives. You know, I think we need to see the people that are in our lives, and maybe we start out being that for someone else, you know, but I think when you give, it's returned, you know. So I think that when, you know, we are feeling stuck or we need encouragement or whatever, go out and find, you know, give away what you wish to get. And, you know, I think that's powerful.
Yeah, I 100% agree. In fact, my paradigm for the year is radical generosity. And I love giving because it's a selfish thing, actually. I mean, I love to give, but it does feel so great to see the look on someone's face, or to hear their appreciation, or to know that you made a difference. I totally agree with you on that.
Right.
I love that.
I love making, I mean, all through the things I've done, it's always been that I wanted to make a difference in the lives of other women. So, you know, when Karen and I were doing Midlife Besties, that's what we wanted to do, is encourage other women going through things that, you know, we all are, you know, kind of universally going through. So that's kind of what I'm all about. And I love that that's what you're doing with your new mission. And tell me a little bit, before we have to hang out, tell me a little bit about how you're doing that. I'd love to hear a little more.
Yes, well, it's called 10 and 10, and it's something that I thought of back in 2020, but it officially became a social initiative this year, where I'm on a mission to help, well, basically to eradicate self-doubt in 10 million women by 2030. And we're close to 1 million so far. We're tracking it based on the seminars I'm doing, the people that I'm reaching in various places. Obviously, I say it's kind of like, one of the car dealers, I can't think of it, Lexus or Volvo, somebody has this mission of no accidents. And I remember when I first heard that, I thought, well, that's impossible. But I love the idea because it can feel so big, but the whole idea is that's the goal that we're shooting for. So my goal how do you actually eradicate self-doubt? Well, the part that I play is providing women with tools to speak up. And I don't want any woman to miss an opportunity. So many of us, and my story is that for too long, I held back from sharing my ideas. I missed opportunities, I know, because of me not speaking up. And one very specific time I remember, I didn't make a direct ask. I was pretty passive to my boss at the time, and I thought 8 months later I was going to get a promotion. And when I didn't, I looked quite shocked and I remember her going, well, I could tell she knew something was off, and she said, what's wrong? And I said, well, I thought I was getting promoted. And she said, what? I don't even remember that conversation. But I had grabbed her in a moment where I said, well, I know you asked me to be on the leadership team, so what does that mean to my title? I was very passive. And we both kind of chuckled, and I said, if I were to do that over, I would have said, okay, first of all, I want to be a senior director. How do I do that? What's getting in my way? Can we set up a timeline for that? Can you be on, can you be helping me with the milestones and that kind of thing? So it's really interesting how we sometimes think that we asked, but we didn't. And so that is a big part of what is just one example around my mission to help women be able to have the tools to know what to say and how to say it. And
so much of it is communication, right? I mean, when
exactly.
you actually communicate and not, I remember my husband early in his years in working, actually to our small group taught a lesson or a couple of weeks lessons in active listening. And it was like a light bulb to me, I mean, yeah, those are the things that are important. Ask questions or, repeat back or, good communication goes a long way.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's really been my expertise for almost 30 years now. So I realized that I could teach anybody how to have a better meeting or how to be a better public speaker. But why I left my corporate job is to focus on not just the external confidence of how we come across, but the internal. And if I could help women eradicate that to where, and what I mean by eradicating, by the way, at least what it has meant for me, is that you're no longer dependent upon what other people think of you to hold back. In other words, even if they think a certain thing or your idea might be unpopular, maybe they just don't like it, that isn't going to hold you back from sharing something.
Right.
Yeah.
Still okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm up to.
I love hearing that.
Asking.
Now, how does someone, what kinds of seminars are you doing? Are they corporate or?
Most of them are corporate. Yep. So right now, what I'm doing in my mission is aligning with corporations specifically. There are 3 tiers of being an ambassador. So if anybody who is listening, or if you know anybody, Suzanne, by the way, I would be glad to have an introduction made so that the company can help to further the mission along. So that has been really great to have some of these conversations with some big corporations to have. Basically what it means is that they're getting some educational pieces from me to distribute in their corporation. They're also committing, there's different tiers. So a couple of the tiers are committing to me being a speaker there once a year and basically having a champion within their organization. And then both of us being on each other's websites so we can show that we're aligned in the mission to elevate and empower more women.
Very good. Well, I'll certainly keep that in mind and pass it along
to
anyone.
Yeah. Thanks. Sure. So tell us where we can reach you more. I mean, we can look at your handle here, but please tell us what you're doing, what's up, anything you want to promote, please do.
I am, it's called a beauty guide with Life. Skincare and makeup, and we do, and the reason I love it is because it is organic skincare, so it's all clean, it's very healthy. Take the best care of your skin that you can, and the makeup is it's an actual professional grade makeup that will last all day, so I love that part too, and it's clean as well, so as healthy as it can be. And I'm just learning so much about that. And, like I said, you can see my handle or wherever it is on here. So go follow me there. But I'm also, interested in, maybe starting Midlife Besties back up, and which was a show like this that talked about various interests of the midlife woman. We did everything from caregiving to I don't think we ever got to do like wills and legal things, but that was on our list. And, things like fashion or, we just covered the whole thing. So, maybe picking something like that up again will be something in my future. So awesome. That's what I'm up to. And I'm just, out there to inspire and champion other women.
That's fantastic. Well, that's what it's all about, lifting each other up, right? And
absolutely.
You are so supportive, Suzanne. I'm so grateful that we met, and thank you so much also for all the beautiful products that I've purchased in the past and just being such a great encourager. You really are meant for that encouragement piece. So
Well,
I experience that all the time.
I love your mission too. So thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. Any last pieces of advice or anything you want to end with?
I don't think so. I mean, I think if someone's just now getting on, I would say go listen to the replay that you will put on. But just enjoy this part of your life and feel, know that we are all valuable contributors to our society.
Yes.
And I think that we have so much to offer because we do have a wide range of education and experience and, things that everybody needs to know about.
Yes,
So.
absolutely. So true.
Yeah.
All
And use the
right.
good dishes.
Yay. Thanks
All right,
to
Karen.
everybody who joined, and thanks, Suzanne. I really appreciate you being here with me. And for anybody that is new and is not really sure what this is all about, so this is called the Confidence Corner, and I'm your host, Karen Laus, and I'm here every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. So thanks so much. Thanks, Andrea. Appreciate you. All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody. Bye.